So let's have a look at the current state of Overwatch. Now let's just look purely at the state of Doomfist right now, because that's what we're interested in. Right? We can look at other heroes and stuff like that. Then let's actually let's actually have a look at this. So you have these heroes, and by the way, Trace is not overpowered this past 3 years. Oh, is this the past 3 years? Yeah, no, you're wrong. It is this year. So like you look at the state of the game right now. Doomfist has and people and this is why Widowmaker's overpowered, and this is why Doomfist is underpowered. This meta right now, if you could design a meta in the current state of the game, this might be the worst meta in the history of Overwatch for a Widowmaker. Like, this might be, if you could physically design a meta from scratch, this might be the worst meta for Widowmaker ever. And she has a higher pick rate than Doomfist. If you could design a meta, this is almost the best meta in the history of Overwatch that you could design for Doomfist. And he's played less than Widow. That's my point. Rush comp and dive comp should be the heroes that Doomfist is viable in, but he's not. That's my point I'm trying to make here, guys. Like, this meta, if you look at the game, assuming every hero is balanced, Doomfist's pick rate should be in the top 10. Widowmaker's pick rate should be here, and it's not. Like, so if you factor out spam, because spam does get played. So if you just take out, like, I guess, like few of these heroes, like, what heroes are playing spam? Mostly it's like Ashe, Echo, and you can play like Sigma as well. I think do you run like Sigma Ball in spam? So it looks like spam's being played around, I would say, spam is being played around 20% of the time. And then I would say dive is being played around 35% of the time. And rush is being played around 35% of the time, and then anything else, any of the meme comps are played like the last like 10%, right? Or like the last 5%, I should say, right? So this is about 15% play rate of spam, and this combines at 70%, right? So we should give Doom 25 HP buff. No, okay. If you want to make Doomfist viable, you need to make his ult an actual ultimate ability that can actually get kills. You need to make it not a part of your rotational abilities that will actually make it so that, don't make it a get out of jail free card. Make it a high risk, high reward, crazy high damage ult. Make the outer circle damage start at 250 or start at 300. Right now, instead of using 2 cooldowns to go in, I can use 3 cooldowns to go in and then use my ult to get out. That's what Doomfist's ult is now. But that just kills, I don't know, 1 shot. So, first things first, if you look at the state of old Doomfist ult, okay, I'm gonna check this shit. So, like, I don't know. Again, Tracer, what Tracer needs is a 20% increase in the rate at which her ult builds, or 20% decrease, sorry, in the rate at which her ult builds. Her ult needs to build a little bit slower because her ult's a little bit overpowered for how fast it builds, just a little bit. And then McCree needs 25 less HP. By the way, the fact that the dev team, you remember that April Fool's patch? You remember that April Fool's patch? They thought it was a good idea to buff D.Va, and not only did they buff D.Va, they actually buffed it by a lot. They increased their flight duration from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Like, I was like, D.Va was one of those heroes that when she wasn't played, I was like, whatever you do, do not buff D.Va. D.Va is already overpowered, and you need to not buff her even more. And D.Va is fucking disgustingly overpowered. She's so busted, it's crazy, actually. And then Brig, and Brig has a higher pick rate than Bap, saves a lot as well. Like, they really need to redesign this hero. I mean, here's the problem. You look at the top 3 most picked supports, Brig, Bap, Lucio, they're all AoE healers. Again, AoE healing is a problem that they haven't addressed, and I don't think that they know how to address. Why comparing our meta to... I'm not. I mean, first things first, rank meta is a trickle down from our meta. But I agree, it's not too much. It's not too relevant. But I just think it's interesting to look at. I think that, and here's the thing.
Welcome to the bag of chips, my doggy.
Here's the thing. Doomfist is a weaker hero in solo queue than he is in pro play. No question. Because Doomfist is a hero you need your team to play around. That doesn't happen in solo queue. It happens more in pro play. Widowmaker's a stronger hero in rank than she is in pro play. And Widowmaker's a stronger hero in pro play than Doomfist is right now. So that discrepancy only gets wider. So, and as for the green take about Mei, I do agree. I think that Mei, I'm really happy with the state of Mei. Why did I start crying there? I'm really happy with the state of Mei because I think that Mei is actually a healthy hero for the game. Or at least maybe not right now, but I think that her fundamental design isn't necessarily unhealthy. The problem I have with Mei is that her left click slow and her ult slow is a little bit too strong. But I think the idea that you can build a great wall to zone people off, I think is a fucking cool mechanic. I think it's really interesting. The state of society is pushing chips into tears, true. I look at this and there's a few glaring like heroes that need nerfs. Like Brig needs a nerf. I think Bat needs a nerf. McCree needs a nerf. You could argue Tracer needs a nerf, but I don't hate Tracer being a really high pick rate because I think she's actually a healthy hero for the game. High skill cap, decent degree of counterplay. All you need to do with Tracer is just nerf her ult a little bit because I think her ult's a little bit overpowered. What about Zen? Zen's super overpowered. Again, if you can design a meta, this is like the worst meta in history for Zen in terms of a design perspective. Zen should never be viable in this meta ever, and Zen has a 20% pick rate. That shows how broken he is as a hero. If you don't think that Zen's broken, you don't understand the game. Why is Zen broken? Zen has the highest DPS output in the game of almost any hero in the game outside of... I think that Pharah has a higher DPS impact, maybe, and Bastion, assuming Bastion can play. He has one of the best ults in the game. He has an incredibly good 1v1 tool. He has infinite range, crazy high pick potential, and decent strong like single target healing, with really good ability to make your flankers win 1v1s, and he can also instantly kill tanks. Because what you have to do is that every single piece of damage that's done by the Discord orb, you have to factor in is that Zen's damage. That's damage that wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the Discord orb. 20% of like everyone's damage basically goes to Zen. Why is Hog bad in the current meta? Is he underpowered? Hog's not underpowered right now. Hog's in a fine spot, balance-wise. I think Hog needs a rework or a redesign. I think the Hog's design is horrible. Again, this is just a terrible meta for Hog. Like a really, really bad meta for Hog. What I think that they need to do is that they need to make his hook a lower cooldown. More utility. Like, I saw the option of, like you could hold your hook and then your teammates click it like a Thresh Lance. That'd be fucking cool. And they just reduce his damage. If you can make it so Hog can't one-shot with his combo anymore, then and redesign him and balance him around that, give him crazy high buffs because of that, be a much better hero. Because then he's more of like, I'm going to hook you into my team and my team is going to kill you, rather than I'm gonna flank like an idiot and hook you and one-shot you. That's why Hog's a ranked hero right now. Pharah's in a fine spot right now. You look at Pharah's pick rate, and you look at this and say, yeah, I mean, Pharah shouldn't ever be played right now. Like, you look at Genji. Genji should be played. Reaper should be played. This is the sign that a hero's underpowered is that if the meta theoretically works for them, like the meta right now, like, honestly, like, for real, like, Genji should be meta. It's like half dive. Like, half of the comps is like fucking Zarya Winston dive. Absolutely Genji should be fine in this meta. So he should be up around, like, sort of where Zen Ash are. It's the sign of when an individual hero is overpowered, in my opinion. The sign of whether a hero is overpowered or underpowered is how strong are they. If you look into the game at more of a one-dimensional level, you look what comps are meta. Rush. Generally, it's Rush and Dive, like Double Bubble and Rush, are the two comps right now that are really meta. Okay? You just have to look at the hero, like what meta is best for Genji? What meta is best for Reaper? Reaper is best in a DPS and in a Rush meta. Genji is best in a dive meta. And we're in a dive and / Rush meta, and both these heroes are still unplayable. That's a sign of bad things. In my opinion, that's a bad sign. Again, Doomfist, really, really strong hero in Rush. But yeah, I mean, of the so-called like of this like let's say top everything up to May, I think that the heroes that don't need changes, I think D.Va's okay. I think that Lucio is okay. I think Ryan, Winston, Anna, Zarya, May are all okay. I think that these four heroes all need a slight nerf. Maybe D.Va needs a nerf as well, but I don't think she needs a nerf. Kree needs 25 less HP. Bat needs a rework, or a massive nerf. Brig needs a rework as well, and Tracer needs 20%. Tracer needs her ult to feel 20% slower than it does right now, so that if you actually miss your pulse bomb, you're actually punished for it. That's just my opinion. But other than that, you could argue that Ryan might need a nerf, but I don't think that Ryan needs a nerf. I think that Ryan's in a fine spot. And then honestly, like you have these heroes here that strike me as more problematic. I think that Ashe needs a nerf. I think that Zen needs a nerf, and I think that Ball needs a nerf, because these heroes shouldn't get a fucking shred of playtime in the current state of the game, and yet they do. They get a lot of playtime. Okay, chat. Enough talk.